Preface for The Life and Adventures of Venture. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Life and Adventures of Venture, by Venture Smith. Preface. The following account of the life of Venture is a relation of simple facts, in which nothing is in substance to what he relates himself. Many other interesting and curious passages of his life might have been inserted, but on account of the bulk to which they must necessarily have swelled this narrative, they were omitted. If any should suspect the truth of what is here related, they are referred to people now living who are acquainted with most of the facts mentioned in this narrative. The reader is here presented with an account, not of a renowned politician or warrior, but of an untutored African slave, brought into this Christian country at 8 years of age, wholly destitute of all education but what he received in common with other domesticated animals, enjoying no advantages that could lead him to suppose himself superior to the beasts, his fellow servants. And if he shall enjoy no other advantage from perusing this narrative, he may experience those sensations of shame and indignation that will prove him to be not wholly destitute of every noble and generous feeling. The subject of the following pages, had he received only a common education, might have been a man of high respectability and usefulness, and had his education been suited to his genius, he might have been an ornament and an honor to human nature. It may perhaps not be unpleasing to see the efforts of a great mind, wholly uncultivated, enfeebled and depressed by slavery, and struggling under every disadvantage. The reader may here see a Franklin and a Washington in a state of nature, or rather in a state of slavery. Destitute as he is of all education, he still exhibits striking traces of native ingenuity and good sense. This narrative exhibits a pattern of honesty, prudence, and industry to people of his own color, and perhaps some white people would not find themselves degraded by imitating such an example. The following account is published in compliance with the earnest desire of the subject of it, and likewise a number of respectable persons who are acquainted with him. End of preface. Recording by Bill Boerst. Chapter 1 of The Life and Adventures of Venture. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. The Life and Adventures of Venture, by Venture Smith. Chapter 1. Containing an account of his life, from his birth to the time of his leaving his native country. I was born at Dukandara, in Guinea, about the year 1729. My father's name was Songm Furro, prince of the tribe of Dukandara. My father had 3 wives. Polygamy was not uncommon in that country, especially among the rich, as every man was allowed to keep as many wives as he could maintain. By his first wife he had 3 children. The eldest of them was myself, named by my father Brotir. The other 2 were named Kundazo and Suzaduka. My father had 2 children by his second wife, and 1 by his third. I descended from a very large, tall, and stout race of beings, much larger than the generality of people in other parts of the globe, being commonly considerably above 6 feet in height, and in every way well proportioned. The first thing worthy of notice which I remember was a contention between my father and mother, on account of my father's marrying his third wife without the consent of his first and eldest, which was contrary to the custom generally observed among my countrymen. In consequence of this rupture, my mother left her husband and country, and travelled away with her 3 children to the eastward. I was then 5 years old. She took not the least sustenance along with her, to support either herself or children. I was able to travel along by her side. The other 2 of her offspring she carried, one on her back, and the other, being a sucking child, in her arms. When we became hungry, my mother used to set us down on the ground, and gather some of the fruits which grew spontaneously in that climate. These served us for food on the way. At night we all lay down together in the most secure place we could find, and reposed ourselves until morning. Though there were many noxious animals there, yet so kind was our Almighty Protector, that none of them were ever permitted to hurt or molest us. Thus we went on our journey, until the 2nd day after our departure from Dukandara, when we came to the entrance of a great desert.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?